Hey everybody, this is Perch. There is nothing wrong with wanting superhero comics. Superhero comics like they existed in the 80s. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, nothing evil about it, nothing white supremacy about it. What's the plural? Never mind. There's nothing hateful about it. There's nothing anti-LGBTQ plus about it. There's wanting what you want. And superhero comics is a reasonable thing to want. It's a reasonable thing to want when there are billion-dollar superhero movies. And here's the part that does it hurts a little bit inside. Right now, as I speak, there is one of the best superhero comics that has been produced in the last 100 years actively coming out into the market. You can buy it. It's also been adapted to movies and to TV shows. It's incredibly popular. It's made hundreds of millions of dollars. It's My Hero Academia, and it comes from Japan. That's the rub. If you want to see an absolutely incredible superhero book, My Hero Academia does the job. I've seen some of you in the comments say you just won't touch manga, period. You don't like the art style. That's fine. But the storyline, the plot, the effort, what's being put out for My Hero Academia is one kick-ass superhero book that is wildly popular. If you were a fan of X-Men during the 80s and kind of the drama and the build-up of the team and the people finding themselves and all that kind of the discovery, that whole aspect of it, villains that are really threatening, villains that are murdering people, villains that are torturing children, villains that are villainous, that get defeated by heroes, that have to rise above it. My Hero Academia is for you. It's doing it. Why does that hurt me a little bit inside? Because the U.S. used to be so good at it, and they're not anymore. Not with that genre. When I say that, by the way, and this is the important point, I'm not saying all comics suck. I'm not saying that what they're currently doing they should stop doing. I'm just saying I feel a loss that something that the U.S. used to be really good at, serialized, long form. There have been, and to be clear, there have been plenty of good comics out there. There are plenty of good limited series. I like Three Jokers. I thought that was great. I like Doomsday Clock. I like Monsters. I liked Ragnarok. I liked Erratic quite a bit. Erratic was a great story. Was 5 issues or 6 issues? I think it was 5 issues. That's not enough. I want a really good, really solid, ongoing monthly book. And I can get that from Japan. I want it from the US. A superhero book that just nails that genre really, really well. I liked Invincible. I thought that was a great book. I still wouldn't, I mean, it's a superhero book for sure. But, we used to be very good at putting that out. And somewhere along the line, the U.S. publishers decided kind of two things. They decided that kind of story, the superhero story, wasn't enough anymore. That there needed to be some deconstruction that happened. It needed to appeal to other audiences by not tapping into superhero books. We had a bunch of people who were like, I remember what was really cool about the superhero books like the X-Men in the 80s and 90s. It's when they used to play baseball. Let's just make books about them, hanging out at the mansion. Let's do that. There's been a lot of ideas about what sent people down this other path. It is a solid argument to say things like Watchmen, things like The Dark Knight Returns, things that deconstructed our superheroes. Those did absolutely, they sold really, really well. And what is the U.S. comic industry? I mean, not just the U.S. comic, any comic industry. What is it? Something that they can predictably do? It's if something works well, you copy it and you drive it into the ground. And so we had a lot of deconstruction. And then you had Civil War sold really well. People were like, oh, here's a good superhero book. But it was kind of this dark and gritty take on what was going on. You had the Avengers that Bendis was doing before that. That was a huge franchise book. That was a deconstruction book, heavy dialogue. It was something new. People got excited about it. It's cool. I want to stress again, I'm just going to keep repeating it. I'm not saying that what's currently being produced is bad, that should all stop, that should go away, everything else, they can keep producing it. I just would like to have I'd like more than one, but at least a superhero book that scratches that itch, that nails that niche. It's possible to do it. I mean, the baffling part is it's absolutely possible to do it. A lot of creators would like to do it. When I talk to artists and writers, many of them express high interest in telling that kind of story again. They want to do it. And the proof that it would sell well is indicative in the movies and, again, what's going on in Japan. There are books that are bigger. I mean, Demon Slayer did better, and there's been a lot of manga that's surpassed some of that. But make no mistake about it, My Hero Academia is a financial beast. It's made a ton of money. Go look at the Amazon charts. It still sits there. The anime is highly sought after. It's entering into what feels like its end arc, which is just going to make me sad all over again, because then nobody will be producing one. But it's people are very into that story, and it's not hard to understand why. The characters are relatable. There's a lot of different personality types. The story is the very tried and true, hero having to step up and find himself and rise to the occasion, understand heroism, is pursued by his rival, is pursued by various villains that are out to destroy society as we know it. I mean, it's the funny thing about a thing like My Hero Academia is how it's been done before. It's just doing what it does extremely well. The part that irks me, and kind of what set this off, is two things that happened simultaneously. I got a note from a news reporter who was basically talking about, sending out this to a lot of different people, going, hey, look at the graphic novel sales. They're way up. Guess we're doomed. Come on. Can we stop with that? I feel like I need to go to a bargaining or negotiation table to say, hey, on one side, can we stop saying that Superman is cucked? And on the other side, can we start crowing about the graphic novel financial success? Will you give up one if you give up one? Can we do that? Can we just both trade? Because it's disingenuous, it's stupid, it doesn't advance any part of the conversation when you say, hey, look, graphic novel sales are going, things are going great. And then you turn around and there's GoFundMes for multiple creators, and there's books that are selling in the 20s and 30s that once sold in the hundreds. I mean, come on. Things are going great for publishing. There are graphic novels out there. Absolutely. Good news. If you are the creator of Dogman, you're doing well. If you are an indie graphic novel creator, your sales have probably doubled in some cases. That's great. If you go to Kickstarter and you brave the harsh criticism of NFTs and blockchain or Indiegogo or Zoop or whatever it is, you're making money. Great news for you. That's good news. Great. But can we just admit that the superhero genre, the genre that is currently, dragging in $1 billion in the movie theater with no signs of stopping? I'm sorry. And okay, to this specific audience that's always talking about how the Disney movies are about to implode and all the rest, they're not. Doctor Strange 2 is going to make a crap ton of money. Yes, even though it has America Chavez in it, it's going to make a lot of money. The floor is going to come out from under those movies at some point, and then you can have that last laugh, but you just sit and be patient, because it's going to be a while. The interest in those properties is still strong. Yeah, when Disney comes out with like the Eternals and COVID's going on, and it's there's nothing very compelling about how that movie looks. Yeah, that one's going to be a struggle. But by and large, there's not a problem right now. Shang-Chi made good money for being Shang-Chi. Again, out during the Delta variant. It's still clocking in there. Doctor Strange will do well. Thor, 4? Thor 4 will do well. They're Black Panther, people are going to show up to Black Panther too. Even if Shuri is unvaccinated and a bad person for it. Some of you may be confused by that whole thing. I'm not going to explain now. Regardless, there's money in superheroes. My Hero Academia continues to dominate the charts and beat a bunch of U.S. comics. Frankly, the graphic novel sales are up. We're all doing great. Is in part because of My Hero Academia. That's one of the books that is doing it. So at some point, will one of you, please, for the love of God, will one of you put out, just go back, read those X-Men books from the 80s, read Teen Titans, read My Hero Academia, don't be original, and just clone that genre. Can one of you just please put that out? You're gonna, as you're putting it together, you're gonna think, you know what I should do is replace this battle scene with them having dinner, and I should also make a lot of the books about a 3 or 4-way romance triangle between different genders. Keep it simple, stupid. Just copy the same shit that worked really well in the 80s and is working really well right now for Shueisha. Can you please just give me one? Because there's a definite interest. And when we ask for this, at least me, I'm not talking for everybody, at least me, when I ask for, can I please just get a good goddamn superhero book? That is not code for, hey, white power, or hate all the gays. That is not, I am saying what I mean, which frankly is what I think a lot of people mean. I do not understand at all how we got from I want a superhero book equals hatred, gatekeeping, and white supremacy. I don't understand. I mean, I do understand because the people saying that are a bunch of idiots, but I don't understand why anyone is listening to that. And I also don't understand why there is money there. Now, if you are, I don't know, if you are Louise Simonson, if you're Ron Mars, if you're Ann Nocenti, if you're, hell, if you're Tom King, you may say, I've done a lot of stories. I have no interest in going back and doing another superhero book. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you've done your time. Cool. I still think it'd be a good idea for you to do it because people want it. If you want to be a hero, put out a great superhero book. Just nail that genre. It'll be fine. That'll be fine. But I'm not looking to you. You don't have to do it. Somebody new could do it. Somebody who's trying to find their leg up. Somebody who used to be big and is not big anymore. I don't really care. But we don't all have to say, you know what? This is the problem. Like I said, there were two things. The second thing that kind of triggered off this was I was having this conversation with a friend-ish about why isn't there a good superhero book? And the answer back is they don't all have to be superhero books. We had all superhero books. Isn't it more interesting to have more diverse genres out there? Why do they all have to be superhero books? To which my response is, can one be a superhero book? One. I'm not saying they all need to. I'm not even saying a majority. I'm just saying, come on, US, get off your ass and create My Hero Academia for yourselves. One of you, please. My friend's like, well, you got Radiant Black. That's not, no, no, you do not. And that's not a diss on Radiant Black. I saw some sites pointing out Scott Snyder's Noctera. That's also not that genre. Okay, it's fine. Good book. Great. Good for Scott. I'm not saying he should stop. He should keep going. But can somebody please look at the Avengers, the Justice League, the X-Men, look at this, look at My Hero Academia, and just give me one of those. Give us one of those. You're going to make money. Proven you're going to make money. There's a high interest, high demand. And you don't change your entire line, just one. I nearly lost my mind with that. Well, we can't have them all be superhero books. Have one. None are right now. Now you may think I'm being a little extreme, but seriously, what the F is the Avengers doing right now? Somebody, I mean, it's a multiversal kind of craziness. I mean, it's and half the stories are set up. I'm talking about storytelling. And again, Jason Aaron can keep doing what he's doing. More power to him. The X-Men can continue to be weird mutant supremacists on an island that's a cult. By all means, keep doing that. Just Somebody put out your US version of My Hero Academia. Get on it. Put one. Just fun, classic superhero storytelling, building, big conflict, no subverting expectations. Don't promise this giant conflict, this epic thing, and then have it turn out to be silly party games rather than swords, you dumbasses. Just one. That's all I'm not asking you to cancel anything, not asking you to replace anything, not asking you to stop doing anything. Keep doing all the crap you're doing. Just please, please, please make room for one. There's tons of people who can do it. I've interviewed lots of people who can do it. Hell, Jim Zub, but give him, just say he has the ability in his sleeve to put out a superhero book without all this other nonsense. He can do it. Let him do it. I think Jeff Thorne would like a crack at it. I think Chuck Dixon would like a crack at it. There's lots of people that would do it. Just I don't care. Just do it and stop. Please stop responding to people who express interest in a superhero genre book as being somehow hateful, evil gatekeepers who are living in the past. Hey, newsflash, your parent companies are raking it in on superhero movies. This stat that you keep touting about how graphic novel sales are up is in large part because of another country's superhero book. Come on, US. Get your ass in gear. Put it out. That's all I'm asking. just one, please. I'm begging you. Just one. The silly part is, and now I'll throw the gauntlet down on some of the rest of you. A lot of people are out doing crowdfunded books, and you're putting out concepts, good for you, and everything else. Somebody nail the Teen Titans, X-Men, My Hero Academia experience in your comic book. You will get funded. Don't do it stupid, meaning don't try and do it as a attack on current comics. Just put out a book that nails that storytelling, truly nails it. Not you think it does. Like, you're gonna have to get some people to give you some opinions on this. Just go nail it. Not a clever anti-messaging social commentary against SJWs or whatever it is. Just copy the 80s. One book. Yeah, not even the 80s. Copy. You know how lazy stupid it would be if somebody literally just ripped off My Hero Academia. You could rip off the same plot because I love My Hero Academia, but a lot of the plot elements are rip-offs of other things. You got a boy, he doesn't have any powers. Oh, he meets some guy, and then he gets powers, and then he's not worthy of those powers, so he has to train really hard to make sure that he doesn't. He has to gain acceptance, and meanwhile, there's a bunch of villains that are trying to take over the world. I mean, that's not terribly unique. It's just told really, really well. Anyway, my empire for a superhero book. Thanks for listening.